Fritjof Capra, The Tao of Physics, an exploration of the parallels between modern physics and Eastern mysticism. Dive into the fascinating connections between modern physics and Eastern mysticism with The Tao of Physics by Fritjof Capra. Explore how seemingly unrelated domains of knowledge converge as we understand the foundations of our universe. Discover not only the parallels between scientific concepts, like quantum theory and relativity, and the central beliefs of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism, but also the deep insights that we can glean from comparing these diverse perspectives. Get ready to uncover some of the most profound revelations about the nature of reality in a journey that transcends the rational and intuitive aspects of our knowledge.
The intersection of physics and Eastern mysticism. The distinction between rational and intuitive knowledge forms the basis of both Western science and Eastern mysticism. Physics and Eastern mysticism share several compelling parallels in their approach to understanding the world. Western science adopts a rational approach to quantify and analyze material reality. In contrast, Eastern mystics rely on meditative states of consciousness to access non-intellectual experiences of reality. Creativity and observation are fundamental to both physics and Eastern mysticism. However, Western philosophy emphasizes the separation between body and mind, a dualism stemming from ancient Greek philosophy. On the other hand, Eastern thought assumes the oneness of all things. Physics and Eastern mysticism. As physics revolutionized the classical worldview, it gave way to new concepts, like the uncertainty principle and relativity theory, which are reminiscent of Eastern mysticism. Unlike classical physics, modern physics denies the concepts of absolute time and space and the existence of elementary solid particles. Quantum theory further asserts that subatomic particles cannot be objectively described and observed without affecting them. Eastern mystics and Zen Buddhism recognize similar paradoxes in their practices, which aim to free the mind from thought processes to attain a higher state of awareness. In the next parts of the book, you'll delve deeper into the various schools of Eastern mysticism. Hinduism and Buddhism. A simplified explanation of the core messages and similarities of Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism and Buddhism are two religions that share the idea of unity and the interconnectedness of the world. Hinduism's main text is the Vedas, and its core message is that everything is a different expression of the same ultimate reality known as Brahman. However, Brahman is incomprehensible and can only be experienced through practices like yoga. Hinduism views nature as a dynamic and ever-changing world, where all things are interconnected. Similarly, Buddhism follows the idea of unity in constant flow and change. The religion traces back to a single founder, Siddhartha Gautama, or the historic Buddha. In Buddhism, the Dharmakaya is comparable to the concept of Brahman in Hinduism. Buddhism's ultimate goal is nirvana, a state where false notions of separateness vanish, revealing the oneness of all life. Both religions share the notion that the world is continually changing and that everything arises and passes away. While they share some fundamental concepts, they differ in terms of their histories and practices. Nevertheless, understand that these religions are about more than just concepts and ideas, they require actual practices to attain deep and mystical experiences. The mystical side of ancient Chinese philosophy. Ancient Chinese philosophy revolves around social life, morals and government but also has a mystical side. The two sides developed into the distinct philosophical schools of Confucianism and Taoism in the 6th century BC. Taoism is about the observation of nature and offers a higher state of consciousness. Taoism is more mystical and similar to Hinduism and Buddhism, teaching that there is an ultimate reality underlying and unifying the world called the Tao, or the Way. The Tao is considered the essence of the universe and is a cosmic process that describes the dynamic nature of all things. Patterns of change and cyclical nature are principles characteristic of the religion. The opposing concepts of yin and yang, both representing light and dark, male and female, firm and yielding, and heaven and earth, generate the dynamic interplay that creates the Tao. Taoism aims to attain intuitive wisdom, bringing out the comparisons between Eastern mysticism and modern physics. Unity in diversity. The Eastern mystic traditions of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism, as well as modern physics, recognize the fundamental unity of the universe, transcending the distinctions we create. At the atomic level, matter has a dual aspect of being both particle and wave, depending on the situation. Similarly, in Eastern mysticism, opposing concepts like yin and yang are part of a unified whole. Moreover, physics has discovered the interconnected nature of the universe, implying that observation or measurement changes the properties of a particle, pointing to the relational nature of everything. Einstein's time-space unification. The concept of time is relative to the observer's position and is inseparably tied to space. Einstein's theory of relativity showed that space and time are no longer separate entities, but are unified in what is known as spacetime. This is a groundbreaking discovery that ties modern physics to Eastern mysticism. The Avatamsaka school of Buddhism describes enlightenment as an awareness of the interpenetration of space and time. In other words, there is no space without time, no time without space. The dynamic universe. According to both Eastern mysticism and modern physics, the world is in constant motion. Quantum physics shows that subatomic particles are always moving, especially when confined to small spaces. The universe itself is also continuously expanding, as discovered by Edwin Hubble in 1929. Physicists believe that the universe was born around 10 billion years ago in an event called the Big Bang. While some predict the expansion will continue forever, others think the universe may eventually begin to contract. The theory of relativity reveals an inherent dynamism in subatomic particles, where energy transforms into matter and vice versa. All in all, the universe is a dynamic and ever-changing place. Matter and space combined. Classical physics separated matter and space, but the discovery of fields in the 19th century shifted this understanding. Matter and space are unified, according to Einstein's theory of relativity. This unity also applies to the subatomic world of particles, as particles are temporary concentrations of energy and disturbances of the field. This concept of a unified field has parallels to Eastern mysticism, where the void is described as embodiment of endless creative potential.
As we've seen in the Tao of Physics, there is a striking convergence of ideas between modern physics and Eastern mysticism. We find similarities in the notions of oneness, interconnectedness, and the dynamic nature of the universe, as well as the transcendence of separation between space, time, and matter. In our exploration of quantum mechanics, relativity theory, and atomic physics, we recognize similar concepts to those found in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism. This rich dialogue between ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science not only offers a fresh perspective on our understanding of reality, but also highlights the vast potential for human discovery and growth when we embrace a holistic approach to our quest for knowledge.